What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, today a little different style of video. If you're new to the channel, in the past, most of my videos have been about me giving predictions and locks on whether it's UFC, NFL, U.S. men's national team. But today, I'm making a little bit of a different style of video. Okay, there's a lot of people out there on social media, I'll be honest, they just sketch me out. They just give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not that type of guy. I don't hate on people, okay? I got other things to do. I got my own channel to worry about. But this has gone on long enough, okay? There's other guys out there on YouTube who have made videos on Gary Vee. Absolutely hilarious. I'll leave their links in the description below. Whether it was CoffeeZilla, Philion, the boys over at TMG, hilarious videos. So today I'm talking about why Gary Vee is sketch. Okay, if you guys don't know Gary Vee, I think he's about a 40, 50-year-old social media guru, you could say. Sells like online courses, I think, and does, just does motivational type stuff. There's a lot of these guys out there. I don't know if he sells a course, but you guys get the drift of Gary Vee if you didn't know who he is. So one of the first videos that caught my eye was the video we're about to watch right now. It's Gary Vee giving motivational advice to this woman. Let's watch this, and I'll give my reaction after, okay?
Easier to say, like, oh, it's just perspective, but like on the daily when things are happening and I don't know, you're in the middle of doing something, let's say for your business.
Who do you love the most in the world?
My family.
Good. Who in your family? Pick one.
All of them.
You're very politically correct. Cool. Every day, literally once a day, genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and pretend one of them got shot in the face.
Jesus Christ, Gary. What kind of motivational advice is that? You want me to wake up and imagine that someone in my family just got shot in the face? I gotta be honest, that's the worst motivational advice I've ever heard in my life. If someone in my family got shot in the face, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna be crying my eyes out, depressed. I'm not thinking about anything. Jesus, Gary. Imagine if Gary has kids. I don't know if he does or not, and this is what he tells his kids. Now imagine, son, every day to motivate yourself that when I walk out to that mailbox, there's a sniper on the neighbor's roof. And he's going to put lead straight through my forehead. And I'm going to be laying there in a pool of blood. That's how you motivate yourself, son. Jesus Christ, Gary. I've never in my 28 years heard of anyone explain, self-motivation like this. Let's keep watching the video, though. That's unbelievable, though.
I'm being dead serious with you. Every single day, I said this today earlier, I probably once a week to 4 times a week sit there truly in the shower, on a flight, when I wake up. Some people meditate, right? Some people work out, right? To deal with whatever anxieties or thoughts they have. I actually sit and truly try to convince myself that I have lost one of the 5 most important people in my life, and that is the biggest thing I do that leads to the biggest happiness I have. Like, what? You didn't sell enough earrings today? Like, seriously though, people lack perspective. It's actually remarkably easy if it becomes the way you see the world. Like what? What? Like, we have completely lost perspective as a society. Do you know how many people on earth have it way worse than you? Billions.
What? You didn't sell enough earrings? You didn't sell enough earrings? You want to know how many people have it worse? I did the math. Billions. Yo, this isn't the only reason, though, why I think Gary Vee is sketch. Okay, if you guys are new to to trading, stock market, that type of stuff, or cryptocurrency, maybe you haven't heard NFT, but I feel like most people at this point have heard about NFTs. And I saw a clip recently with Mr. Beast and Jake Paul's brother where they blatantly just talk about how Gary Vee, essentially, in my opinion, is committing fraud. He's committing a crime. Now, NFTs aren't regulated, if you guys didn't know, whereas stocks are. Meaning there's rules about what you can and cannot do. Okay? It's illegal to call up people and get a huge group of people to buy into a certain stock. Okay? I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to sit here and get technical with you guys, but maybe you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street. It's kind of what I'm explaining. In this clip, though, you will hear, like I said, from Mr. Beast himself and Jake Paul's brother, that Gary decided he was going to call up everybody he knew that had at least, it sounds like, a couple million, some billionaires, and tell them, pretty much bully them, according to these guys, bully them into buying these NFTs. Okay, if you guys don't know much about blockchain technology, okay, you can't really cheat it. As CoffeeZilla said, it doesn't lie. The blockchain doesn't lie. It really doesn't, because you can go back and see who's buying what on what address, and you can track it and trace it. But what Gary's doing is he's just calling up a bunch of people and hyping up certain projects from the sounds of this. Now, you guys can leave in the comments below after watching this video if you think what he's doing is a crime. I don't know if the SEC will come knocking. I'm sure they will, based off what I heard in this little clip. But let's play the clip, and you guys can make the decision for yourself.
I know you're big into crypto.
Yeah, crypto's been killing it, man.
Especially for you.
Agreed. I mean, you've been doing pretty well as well.
Yeah. Well, I like the space. I remember you called me maybe like 8 months ago, and you're like, yeah. you go, yeah. Just put $1.5 million into Bitcoin. You know, I'm pretty excited about it. To see
Let's
where it
fucking go. Yeah. I'll show you my portfolio after this. But I also, so me and Logan both bought punks. You guys will probably see on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of crypto punks at the same time, right? When
Yep.
Gary pulled us in that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary Vee, it's like fucking 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me, and he's like, yo, I got like 30 people to call, hop in. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, it'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I just joined the call, and I just see like Logan, and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
Every heavy hitter you can imagine who's worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary Vee is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, CryptoPunks. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook. Where all of us were like, okay,
Everyone's
Gary.
judging. I'm texting Logan, and
He's
I'm like, Gary
is
lost
this
his
legit?
mind.
Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We got to keep the story going. So there's like all these like very successful people in this call. And Gary's just like, everyone shut the fuck up. Here's what you're going to do, and you're going to do it right now. You're all going to buy a bunch of CryptoPunks. And we're all just like, he's like, who here owns one? And like one guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied him into buying it the day before. One guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied him into buying it the day before. And we're all just like,
One guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied him into buying it the day before.
we're all just like, are you sure, Gary? And we're asking questions, and he's like, just buy it. I was just so pulled by his like conviction that I bought a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
How many?
I don't want to say, but
You have to say, bro, you have to.
I bought multiple ones. Yeah.
Well, bro, are you in double digits, punks?
Double, just shy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So
Yo, if you had,
all right, well,
he's imagine he just said 60.
no.
Three zombies.
I bought like 8 of them, and they did pretty good.
And any zingers? Any like real special ones?
I had some that like whatever 20, 30x.
What's a?
We bought a lot with like the cigarettes because I thought that was an interesting attribute, and those did pretty well.
What's another characteristic what's your rarest characteristic, punk?
Well, I've already sold quite a few of them, so I don't.
What?
Dude,
he's on to the next thing.
I bought a bunch of, so then I rolled the money into V Friends because Gary, same thing, called me. He's like, V Friends. I was like, I don't fucking know, but last time I made money, sure. And so I basically sold them all and moved the money into V Friends.
Can I ask you guys a question? When Gary does that call,
with all these billionaires, and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think about that a
Like,
lot.
dude, he has all these
I think about
billionaire
that a
market
lot.
makers in the thing.
think about
He
that a
makes
lot.
the call, makes the market. By the way, you look around at all the punk owners a year later, and you're like, damn, it's all the same motherfuckers that were on the call.
No, because bro, there's 10,000 punks, and there's only like 30 of us in the call. We can only own and do so much. There's still an entire market that's gonna happen regardless.
I can tell you, I don't think why, because that was all back like early February. Like things didn't pop off till later, and every like NFT project was popping off, not just punks.
I mean, make no mistake. Like, having such influential people involved in projects, it can't hurt the ability for the project to
but like,
work. You know what I'm saying?
95% of those people didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never talked about it publicly.
Right.
You into like NFTs in general, or any other projects that you're excited about?
I mean, I'm mostly a Bitcoin holder, but you know, just it's fun. I literally just like once a month, I'm like, Gary, what NFT should I buy? And then I just buy what he tells me.
So Gary called me, and I'm a collector at heart, which is like why I like the space.
Yeah.
I like just like
The Pokemon guy's a collector.
Exactly.
Who saw that coming?
Exactly, dude. And Gary called me, and we have these talks. Like we talk probably every other day at least.
Yeah.
And he called me like a month ago. He's like, Logan, I promise you, like, I know you. You're a smart kid. If you play this right, like I know you can, like you do with Pokemon, the NFT industry, you can make $250 million. And I go,
How do you not like perk up?
How is this? But he's never wrong, right? So that's where I started.
Yeah.
And then, bro, the other day, I got the idea.
Yeah.
And I want to run it by you, not now, off the podcast. But I'm pretty sure I had the most revolutionary, monumental piece of IP in my head, and I've been I can't sleep for the past like 2 days.
So like for making your own version of punk?
No. Just a really, really special NFT project.
I mean, you guys heard it there yourselves, okay? Mr. Beast, Jake Paul's brother, they just laid it all out. They just laid it all out there. Gary calling, multimillionaires, billionaires even, and bullying them if they don't buy NFTs. Listen, you're going to be poor if you don't buy this JPEG. Your family will hate you forever. I mean, what is going on? Does this not feel illegal to you guys? Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I don't know technically if this is illegal or not, but in my gut, it just feels illegal. And the one guy in the clip who actually was somewhat rational, Jake Paul's brother's assistant, he says, guys, don't you think maybe Gary's making the money off this because he's the one making these calls? Have we thought about that at all? And it just goes right over their heads. And then Mr. Beast talks about, he sold most of his crypto punks to buy V-Friends. You guys don't know what V-Friends are. Apparently, Gary's got his own project now. I don't know anything about it, but it's called V-Friends. NFTs, you can go buy it. I'm giving you free promotion, Gary. Thank me later. But he says, yeah, Gary called me and said, listen, I have my own project now. You need to buy V-Friends. And so Mr. Beast sold all of his punks and a bunch of other stuff. He bought V-Friends. I mean, again, it just feels completely illegal. In the bottom pit of my gut, I just get this little feeling, this doesn't feel right. Something tells me this is illegal. And I'm interested to see if the SEC comes knocking. Because they're always snooping around this type of stuff. And who knows if it will or when it will. Something tells me this isn't going to end up great in that it's a massive bubble. But the last part of the interview, you hear Jake Paul's brother talk about how he has the greatest idea of his life. He couldn't sleep. He doesn't go on to talk about what it is or, what the project includes, but it's an NFT project. And according to Gary, it could make $250 million. Yes, billion with a B. I mean, I don't know, y'all. I'm just being real with you guys. This whole NFT thing, like I said, I think there's people in the industry who are legit artists, who are actually trying to make art and make a living off it, not just trying to flip JPEGs for money. I'm interested to hear what you guys say about it, though, in the comments. But at the end of the day, guys, Gary Vee is just sketch, if you want my opinion.
You didn't sell enough earrings today? Like, seriously, though.